All right. Here's a good story to talk about, and it's a bit of a shame, and we'll have a bit of a laugh with it. But I hear that Darren Till got arrested.
What happened with
on
this
Thursday
now?
night? Yeah, take a look.
Allegedly.
Well, no, I don't. Well, I don't know if it's allegedly. Maybe he did get arrested. Darren Till arrested in Canary Islands for allegedly trashing hotel and stealing cab.
So he was definitely arrested, allegedly trashed a hotel room, stole a cab.
Yeah, so Tenerife is one of the Canary Islands. And for the American listeners, it's a very, very popular destination for Brits to go to, you know. The English kind of invade the Mediterranean and the islands and the Canary Islands, you know, throughout the year because the weather in England's crap, you know, and you can get a real cheap flight to all these different places like Marbella, Magaluf, Ibiza, Canary Islands, Tenerife, which is where Darren Till was, and relatively cheap package holidays. You know, you can get a flight there for next to nothing, very, very small amount of money. So the English are always there. Brits abroad, we're called.
And it's like garbage people because they're looking for the cheap.
Yeah.
So it's not even
well, not everybody's garbage, but there is a certain section, and they are the Brits abroad that give you a bad name. They're out there. They got the Union Jack towels. They're all hammered. You know, they're getting as wasted as possible. They're being obnoxious.
So they're like the Americans
giving the
of
British
Great
a
Britain.
bad name. I'm telling
the
you.
way people look at Americans just in general, these are the British version of those people.
1,000,000%.
Like, yeah.
They're at the pubs at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're drinking Stella Artois, which sounds very nice. They're watching Only Fools and Horses, which is a British sitcom. And then they're waiting for the football, the soccer to start. And they just get hammered and, very obnoxious. But they do have a bloody good time. And Darren Till, by all accounts, I don't know. I'm only basing this off from what I've read online this morning. So they're out there. Him and his friends from Liverpool, they probably had a bloody good time. Sounds like they had a good night out.
They trashed their hotel room and emptied the fire extinguishers.
Yeah. Emptied the fire extinguisher. I read this to my wife, and my wife was like, "Oh God, they need to grow up." And I'm like, "Ugh, who hasn't,
Yeah, they do, but how
who
old
hasn't
is he?
emptied a fire extinguisher now and again?
Yeah.
You ever done that?"
Of course.
Yeah,
I
come
mean,
on.
I was a kid.
Yeah, well, I'm 40 years old. I'm very mature. I don't entertain that type of behavior. But when I was younger, he's only 26, 14 years ago.
26, born in 1992. I remember 92 like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
And he's a famous kid who's a fighter, good-looking dude. We're being consistent. We've said this before about people like Justin Bieber. That when you have a young person, he has the mindset of a 16-year-old because he's in entertainment. He's famous. He's been famous for a little while now. He's a fighter. This is not a quote-unquote mature lifestyle to go into. You're going into it as a dreamer. It's like a very, small chance that you're even going to make it. So you got to kind of go into this thing with like, that's not nobody's parents would say that's a mature decision. Go be a mixed martial artist with your life.
No, for sure, absolutely. When I started, it seemed like madness. But the thing is, and I know some of his mates, and they're bloody good lads. They're fucking hilarious. One thing about Scousers, right, from Liverpool, they have some of the best sense of humour, and they will have you in pieces. They will rip the piss out of you. They will bust your balls. Like the East Coast in New York, they talk about busting balls. They ain't got shit on the Scousers, man. That's what they do, man. They just rip you apart, and they're very, very funny. So I guarantee they had a very, very good night out. And then now the story goes is that they got kicked out of the hotel for trashing it. I mean, trashing it. Come on, they let off the fire extinguisher. They might have made a bit of a mess. But the hotel
you put that card down. I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. The hotel manager kicked them out. So then they went across the street to another hotel. Let's get off the SpongeBob cup.
I'm sorry.
I must admit this, but I'm very possessive over my SpongeBob cup.
I really think I drank from it like three times.
Sometimes,
you guys on video
sometimes
have me.
I come down here and I will have guests staying, and I see them drinking out of my SpongeBob cup, and I'm like, that's my fucking cup, right? You can help yourself to the entire house. Do whatever you want, but don't contaminate my cup with your saliva.
I don't know. If you guys rewind, I might have drank out of that cup a couple times throughout the show. We're sharing the cup like a homosexual couple. Just
a bright yellow cup on Easter Sunday. Where were we? So they've had a good time. They've left the hotel. They got kicked out. They tried to get another hotel. Apparently, they were denied. So then they've called a taxi, and apparently, when the taxi showed up, and the guy, the driver was loading their luggage into it, allegedly, according to the reports, Darren's jumped in the driver's seat and driven off. And now the charges, apparently, stealing a taxi. But how are you going to steal a taxi? It sounds to me like they were just having a laugh, because the driver is putting their luggage into the boot of the car, the trunk, and they've driven off, probably just having a laugh. You know what I mean? But the charges is that they've arrested it. Sounds to me like they had a bloody good time.
They were arrested in Costa Dehe, the largest island in the Canary Islands, blah, blah, blah. There's no other news reports. So, look, here's the thing. Yes, they were just having a good time. But, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they stole this guy's cab. Now,
and not only is it just his car, that's how he makes a living.
I know, that's it.
My God, Darren, what are you doing,
And he
buddy?
can't do anything. He's got to take it because a bunch of fighters.
He's going to stand there while they drive away in his car. And
he's got to call his wife and make up a story.
Even if he could catch them, what is he going to do?
Really tried to fight the guys off.
But he is in Spain.
Is it Spain?
Well, yeah, Canary Islands is part of Spain. It's part of Spain, Lewis. They belong to Spain. Search it. Google it.
All right.
Listen,
I didn't know that.
It's part of Spain, and I'm just saying, the Masvidal has Spanish connections.
You're really stretching for this one, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe
so
there's
you think
something
it was
there. I don't know.
payback from Masvidal? Okay.
I don't know. They're like, hey, we got to get this guy,
Detective Bisping over here. You really figured it out.
Hold on a minute. It's Masvidal. It is. It's Masvidal. Get him.
By the way, last night it was him in front of a giant map with a bunch of red
and a
strings
whiteboard
pointing
with
everywhere.
ribbons and pins and everything. And Masvidal in the middle. All signs
old
point to
newspapers.
Masvidal. Yeah.
Well, look, it kind of reminds me of the Conor McGregor thing, because Conor McGregor was arrested for strong-arm robbery, and it sounds on the surface, you go like, oh my God, Darren Till stole a cab. It's like, no.
I'll be honest.
Listen. He was playing a prank. He was drunk. He was stupid. And Conor McGregor wasn't trying to strong-arm rob somebody's phone. He grabbed the phone out of somebody's hand and smashed it, which is, it just sort of sounds...
I'll be honest, and I shouldn't really say this on the podcast, but, I mean, come on, who has it? I've never trashed a hotel room, but I've definitely had hotel rooms that when I left, you could describe them as being trashed. Do you know what I mean? I've never purposely trashed a hotel room, but like I remember when I fought Matt Hamill, we had a nice hotel room, and then we had a party in it, and there was about 30, 40 people in there. It was a big suite, and then at the end of it, everyone left, and it was a mess, and people were using... It wasn't my hotel room, thank God.
I thought you put Matt Hamill in your hotel room, you turned the lights off, and just watched him trash it, trying to find the light switch.
It wasn't my hotel room, but some of the people in there were using... There was a stand-up lamp with a lampshade, and they were using empty beer bottles and the lampshade as a basketball hoop.
Oh, hilarious.
You know what I mean? And just because it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and that was, 12 years ago as well, so I was 28, disclaimer, and it wasn't even my hotel room, but that's what was going on. That room was a disgrace. Now, my point is, you know what I mean? Does it make him a criminal? No. Does it make him probably owing some money to the hotel? Probably have to get his credit card out and say, okay, you know what? I owe you a few hundred for that. My bad. My apologies. Maybe a new lamp. Maybe clean that up or whatever it is. And then, because they're hammered, the taxi drivers showed up and he's done that. And he's probably, they're all probably rolling about, pissing themselves. But the interesting one is, though, was he drunk when he drove off in the cab?
Definitely.
Because he had 100%. To be wasted.
100%. Are you crazy? Of course.
But there's no talk of a DUI. Thank God. And by the way, I'm not trying to grass him up or rat him up. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, obviously he was drunk. There's no doubt about it. But they probably had to have caught him behind the wheel. There's probably he could say he didn't drive it. The guy who did drove it ran away. That's what I would say.
Do you know what this reminds me of? When I heard about it and he jumps in the car and drives away. Have you seen and can you remember the movie Enter the Dragon from Bruce Lee?
I don't remember it well enough. At the
start, two cops walk up to Bruce Lee and they go, oh, no, it's not to Bruce Lee. It's to, I think it's Jones, Black Belt Jones, the black guy. And they say some very racist words, which I won't repeat. They go, hey, where are you going, beep? And they this beep got a passport. And, Hong Kong via Hawaii. You ain't going to Hawaii. And then, and then he beats them up. And then he jumps in the cop car, turns the siren on and drives off. And that's what I initially thought when I heard of Darren Till jumping in the taxi and driving off. Yeah, you've never seen it. Whatever.
No, it's all right.
Good talk. Great talk. Good podcast.
I'm going to go watch it now. You really inspired me, and I think probably a lot of other people that are out there
movie. If
watching.
If you've never seen Enter the Dragon, check it out, because it's a martial arts classic.
That's one of the cool things about this podcast is not only do you get this great piece of content, but typically you get a little bit of life advice, and that's just another moment where you get to go out and...
You get to see my kitchen.
It's pretty fucking great.
You get to see Lewis's shiny head. All right, guys. Who doesn't love a good bit of beef jerky? I tell you, when I'm on the road and you're trying to eat healthy, it's a perfect choice. Why? Low in fat, high in protein, tastes delicious, no carbs. It's fantastic. But guess what? There's the best beef jerky in the world out there, but you just need to know about it. It's a family business from California that have been making quality jerky for over 85 years. Of course, Lewis, I'm talking about original small batch beef jerky. It's People's Choice beef jerky. Unlike mass-produced beef jerky, People's Choice beef jerky is marinated, sliced, and cooked by hand. That's right, People's Choice beef jerky is handmade in small batches, so you can really taste the difference, Lewis.
Oh, believe me, dude. I'm eating right now in my bag. I have the Cowboy Peppered, which is spicy and delicious. It's nice and soft. When you go to 7-Eleven or one of these, when you go to one of these, like a gas station and grab beef jerky, it's always plasticky and hard and chewy. It's awful.
Disgraceful.
This tastes like real meat. It's delicious. You can taste the family love that they put into this. It's loaded with protein, key vitamins, and minerals. It's a high energy snack, and you can bring it everywhere. That's the best part of all of it is when I'm on the road, I'm on the go. Same thing with you. It's so easy to just throw it in your bag. It's like having a fucking steakhouse in your backpack.
Beef jerky?
Beef jerky, baby boy.
Beef jerky? You want some beef jerky? What movie is that, Lewis?
I don't know. What is it?
What movie is that? No! Beef jerky?
He comes up with these references sometimes.
Fucking Trading Places, man, on the end, on the train, when Dan Aykroyd has got the blackface on and he's pretending to whatever. Yeah, but that is not People's Choice beef jerky, right?
People's Choice beef jerky is not the ones where you wear blackface. In fact, they don't want you, specifically they wrote in the liner notes,
it says here, no blackface whatsoever. But if you do want to get involved and you want to support this, and if you want to have the best beef jerky, and I'm telling you, they sent us some, and thank you very much, People's Choice. It's delicious, it's nutritious, and you will know that yourself when you try it. How do you try it, you say? Well, very simple. Go to peopleschoicebeefjerky.com and then use the promo code BYM20. You're going to get 20% off. Now, we've spoken a lot about beef jerky, but this is the best beef jerky you will try. Please try it. BYM20, 20% off. peopleschoicebeefjerky.com. Okay, enough about the jerky. Let's talk turkey.
Darren Till, yeah, good for him. I think we need more of that in life, and this is going to sound a little bit weird.
More.
We need more rock stars, man. You know, you watch the Motley Crue movie?
Can I tell you a story?
Of course.
My brother's stag do, which is a bachelor party.
Yeah.
Oh my God! See that a B&B kind of got trashed, and it got out of control, and there was fire extinguishers set off. There was all kinds of stuff.
But they needed to be set off because you lit the place on fire.
But Conrad was in the army at the time, and all his army friends showed up.
Oh man!
And they were all there, and they were like serious guys, and they were hammered, and they hadn't been to bed all night, and then in the morning, then they're demanding their money back from the B&B, saying, "Hold on a minute, we've paid you to stay here. All we've done all night is drink at your bar and give you money over the bar." Mm-hmm. Which they were wrong. Their argument was very, very flawed, but they were hammered. And anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm tapping out because this looks like it's going to get nasty. You know what I mean? So I disappeared off, and I walked down the street to get a drink, and I'm walking back. And as I was walking back, the SWAT team of police pulled up. There was like riot vans of cops, like 20, 30 cops with shields and helmets and all sorts, all running in to the bed and breakfast. I was like, yeah, I chose the right time to leave. So yeah, it got a little out of hand.
Yeah, I've never tried. I haven't made enough money in my life to trash hotel rooms. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, that's just a dick move, though. To purposely trash a hotel room is just a dick move. As I'm saying, I don't think anyone really does that because you're an asshole if you do. I think maybe a party gets a little bit out of hand.
Maybe, yeah, but there's also just, you see those, the rock stars back in the day, Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, and these guys get just obliterated, and it's sort of fun.
Yeah, but they're expected to do that also.
Of course, but I think we
do you
need
know
more
what I mean?
of that.
There's a little bit of the keeping up appearances with that.
But why not in MMA? Like Conor McGregor, this is what we talk about him all the time, or any of these guys. It's like, there needs to be some characters. There needs to be some rock stars in the world. People need to be bad boys. Not everybody needs to be a role model or a goody two-shoes. So I love in MMA that there's all of these different personality types, and there should be. Everybody should be represented. It doesn't... in entertainment right now, they seem to only want to represent one type of person.
You mean the goody two-shoes, boring bastard that won't say anything even reasonably close to the edge? It's all going to be totally politically correct. Everybody loves everybody. Women are the best. Men are dog shit.
Exactly.
We're all sexual pests and predators, and other than that,
that's
we're
true.
all good.
But beyond that, I mean, they have a point there.
No, but we're not. We're not. But I see what you're saying these days. To be accepted by the mainstream media and not be criticized or picked at or nitpicked, you've got to be perfect and not controversial in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, let people, let people go and make mistakes sometimes, and people look at that and they learn from it.